Previously on the starting lineup.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham alongside Chewy this morning, and we got a chance to bring in somebody that I'm fairly familiar with. And in fact, his older brother used to work for me. I love this family, and Cason Orr is in studio with us now. Cason, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Here, pull that thing. Go ahead. Pull it as close as all the way up. Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
yes.
that sounds good. Nice and juicy. All right. So Cason, you are from this area, and before we get into the why you are here, tell people a little bit about you, if they don't know who you are.
Yeah. So I am the son of Lawrence and Tanya Orr. A lot of people know my dad from when he was teaching. He taught over here, but currently teaches over in Tullahoma City School Systems. Grew up here all my life over in Estill. Played football, was involved in a lot of the local clubs like FCA, Young Republicans Club, and the such. Then I went off to college. I graduated as salutatorian in 2023, and I ended up at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville studying law and policy. For the last semester, I've actually been up in Nashville. I've been interning at the Capitol. I've been interning for Senator Lowe and for the Lieutenant Governor, which has been a really fun experience. So all in all, I've kind of had this journey from here, up to Knoxville, done a lot of cool stuff there, and then over to Nashville, and then now I'm back here.
You and your brother, so his brother's nickname is Macho. And, like Macho Man. And so you and your brother are so freaking talented. They have more talent, Chewy, and like smarts in their pinky finger. What'd you get on the which, by the way, this is just a side note. They recognized yesterday at the school board meeting, they recognized all the kids who achieved over like a 30 on the ACT. What'd you get on the ACT?
I got 32.
Holy Moses. I got like a 24, but I forgot my calculator. If that tells you anything you need to know about me. Now, Cason, as salutatorian, I can't even spell salutatorian. I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, like not a chance.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I didn't know that they gave away if we were if I knew we was competing here.
Yeah.
No. So you guys are just tremendous. You're coming back to the area though as a part of a program that is bringing a nonprofit clinic, a healthcare clinic here in June. Talk a little bit about that and your involvement with that program.
Yeah, so Remote Area Medical is a company out of Rockwood, Tennessee, which is kind of up near Knoxville. I got involved with them with my two partners, so we're technically considered the community host group. So
right.
I don't work for RAM. I'm essentially getting the community ready, getting the venue ready, and getting everything that RAM needs to be able to come in and pull off an event like this. That's essentially my job.
Right.
I do it as a volunteer gig. Even while I've been interning, even while I've been in school, this is something that I've been doing part-time in the background, kind of working and getting it ready. Remote Area Medical, I got connected to them. I have two buddies that have been helping me out that are a part of the community host group, Om Patel and Jacob Alkenberg, and both of them have they've volunteered for Remote Area Medical. I know Om like a crazy amount. He's done multiple clinics, and they're both health students, so they're not really. They don't know how to event plan. They're not as outgoing. They don't know how to come on a radio or go speak in front of the board or, get a lot of this stuff put together. And they asked me if I would help them. And then I kind of discovered the company Remote Area Medical. And I was like, this is something that would be really good for this community.
Yeah.
And it kind of, I became the lead. I really have put a lot of time and effort into it. So we've been working on it for the past year. Jacob came on in December, me and Ohm since last May. We've been talking about it for about a year before that as well. It was really Ohm's inspiration that he wanted a clinic here because he's from Deckard and he's seen, the people who don't have access to health care.
Right.
And how that can be an issue. So, and he's seen the good work that RAM does, so he was always like, hey, Cason, do you think we could do this? Do you think we could do this? And I was like, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
I think this is a good time to do it.
Yeah. And so on June 6th and 7th, the 6th, it's going to be from 6 a.m., I believe, to 5 p.m.
Yes, sir.
And then the 7th, it's going to be 6 a.m. to noon.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are hosting a free healthcare clinic, and it's actually going to be over at the high school, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Miss Brittany Butner over there, the principal, as well as Miss Donna Hopkins, one of the counselors. It's cool because she, Miss Butner, was my English teacher.
Right.
Before she became the principal, and Miss Dawn Hopkins was also one of my guidance counselors. So it was really cool to get to come back, and they've been fantastic.
Yeah.
Every need that we have had, they have got it done for us, and they really want to see us succeed. And this could not be done without their help and support. It's something I try to express to the best of my ability last night at the board. It was cool that Miss Butner was there. I'm talking about cell phone policy, I believe.
Yeah.
So it was cool to be able to just talk to her because I've been pretty tied up in Nashville with session and all. So it's been a little hard for me to be home to get to work on this stuff. But now, thankfully, now that session's out, I was able to go to the board meeting, shake people's hands, go tell Miss Butner, thank you, hello,
And you're pretty familiar with the board as well because you served in a student role with them a few years back.
Yes, sir. My senior year, I served as the student school board representative. Got pretty close with a good few of the board members. They really kind of took me under their wing in a sense. I'd always kind of been interested in law and politics, but it was there that I kind of fell in love with the legislative process, with Robert's Rules of Order. It was something I mentioned last night that when we can give kids in the educational realm unique experiences that can launch their careers like that did for me.
Right.
Because I think, yeah, sure, I maybe would have ended up in law and policy anyways, but I think it kind of kickstarted me, and it really got me passionate, not just about law and policy, but about this area.
Right.
So if we can do that, and it's one of the reasons why I've been very insistent on including the HOSA Club and the high school students at this clinic. They'll hopefully get to do some shadowing opportunities. They'll get to do some guiding. A lot of times they're some of the first faces these people will see, and it's something that, a lot of these kids get to go up to the hospital and kind of get to do some of that kind of work, but it's a whole different ballgame when we're talking about people who don't have insurance, the poor, the underserved, the most desperate people in our community and the surrounding communities.
Right.
We've been trying to advertise this not just in Franklin County, but advertise even down in Alabama. All the surrounding counties. We want to serve as many people as we can
Right.
at this event.
Yeah, I mean, even the number of working uninsured and stuff like that. Now, as far as you mentioned the students being involved in this process, and that was part of the reason why you were at the board meeting yesterday, was you were talking about the fact that you guys are going to have opportunities for 10 students who want to get involved, where they can volunteer and they can get this experience, this insight. And it is a unique experience, right? But talk a little bit about why that part of it is important. You mentioned, experiences that you had that kind of led you to where you are. But as they're kind of growing and trying to figure out that next phase of their life, something like this can really trigger something within them, or it can show them, hey, maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things that I know, I guess on the healthcare side and on the healthcare front, my sister ended up going through nursing school after she had finished her bachelor's, not really intending to be a nurse. So it's something that I've looked at and said, what if she had something like that? What if she had, something to kind of push and guide her? Because I was fortunate enough to have that. And a lot of these students are already involved in the health sciences. But I think what I hope it inspires, more so than just a love for health and a love for a love for the medical profession. It is a love for the medical profession to those who cannot provide for themselves.
Yeah.
That's something that I think a care for community is something that I think we desperately lack nationwide. A care for one's own home, it's something that I talk to a lot of people about that, they leave their hometowns and they never come back.
Right.
And that's something that's special for me to get to come back and do work like this. But I want to inspire that kind of idea of service in other people, not just in this, but in everything that I do. Whether that's the work that I've done at the Capitol, whether that's the work I've done up at UT, but it's important to me because I was involved with stuff like FCA when I was in high school, and it was stuff like the shoe boxes for the Good Samaritans
Right.
and stuff like that. We really beefed that program up, and that's something I was always really proud of because we went from sending like 2 or 3 boxes to sending tens of boxes. I think one year we maybe got close to 50. It was like 48, 49. I think that was my last year. I don't know if that's the correct number or not, but it was near that, and it was something that was always really special to me because service is so important to me. Serving others is so important to me. So to get to come back and hopefully inspire that in other people
Right.
and show these kids like, hey, yes, you want to go in the medical profession, hopefully. I hope this doesn't scare anybody away. But to get to talk to people one-on-one, to get to talk to some of these doctors, we'll also probably have a good fair few medical students, undergraduate medical students on top of people who are already in med school or in dental school or in optometry school. So they're going to kind of be able to get a look at not just the destination, but they're going to get to look at people who are on the journey and talk to them and sit down and have lunch with them. And,
Right.
that is something nice about the program is that we are going to feed everybody who volunteers. So they'll get those moments of professional development and really mentorship to kind of say, okay, this is something I want to do. This level of service is something that I really believe in.
Right.
Hopefully.
So it is Cason Orr is joining us in studio this morning, and they have a remote area medical has a clinic coming up, a free healthcare clinic on June 6th and 7th. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more with Cason on the other side about that clinic, as well as his journey and where his goals hope to land him. When we come back, it is the starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. We're talking to Cason Orr about an upcoming free healthcare clinic, and it is for remote area medical. Now, stop me if I'm lying here. This is a nonprofit type of thing?
Yes. So remote area medical, again, it is, I try to be very clear. I don't work for remote area medical.
Right.
I essentially just volunteer for the community. But remote area medical is a nonprofit. It was founded, I want to say sometime in the 70s or the 80s, but I might not have the exact date on that for you. But it was founded, pushed really hard for Tennessee. It's, in my opinion, it's one of the things that Tennessee does best in terms of some of its laws allow doctors from across state borders, to get to come over. I know in some of the talk with some of their policy people, sometimes they'll be going to a clinic up in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
Or they'll be in California. I mean, they go do clinics just about everywhere. But like the issue, and this is might not be exactly correct, but it's kind of hyperbolic, is like in Alaska, if you're a doctor from Tennessee, you can go. But if you're a dentist from Tennessee, you can't. And Tennessee is one of the few states in the country that for these type of events is pretty open
Right.
for people, no matter whether they're doctors, optometrists, dentists, to come in, help people, and then obviously return to their states.
It would make sense that if we're talking about from a non-profit standpoint, from a volunteer standpoint, that and serving the underserved, that there would be a kind of a lower barrier to entry type of thing, and making that happen. So I think that it's really cool. Now, if somebody has a young student who's interested in getting involved in the program as one of the 10 volunteers, how would they go about doing that?
So the best way is, especially for our kids up at the high school, at Franklin County High School, would be to reach out to the local chapter of HOSA. That has been our main point of contact. Miss Crabtree and Miss Modisette have been the people that we've been working with on this. For those who are actually over 18 but still in school, they can actually volunteer.
Oh, wow.
Irregardless, they can just sign up. Just go to www.ramusa.org. There should be a volunteer button there, and you just look up when you're registering Winchester 26.
Is that limited to within the 10, or is that outside of the 10?
If you are over the age of 18, that is, as many people can register as they want. It also does count for Tennessee Promise Hours, which is something that's really good, even if you are over 18, but you're about to go to college. That's something that you can come get your hours at. We're definitely looking for volunteers. As many as we can get.
Yeah, and I think that would be a tremendous thing. You talked about it a little bit yesterday, putting it on your resume, putting it on your applications and things like that. Like, hey, I've served in this capacity. I've got some interesting insight, some unique insight. And then for folks who maybe want to attend, or if we've got listeners who know of folks who need some services, whether it be dental or other healthcare services, how would they participate in the event on June 6th and 7th?
Yeah, so the great thing about remote area medical is things that you need to bring any medications that you're on. It would be nice if you could bring some sort of medical history, things along that line, but you do not have to bring any medical insurance, anything beyond that in terms of trying to pay for it. It's all completely free. We don't need proof of income. We don't need proof of insurance. So essentially, you will come to Franklin County High School on the 6th or the 7th. Our parking lot crew, which will most likely be headed by myself, will give you a number. We'll put it on the inside of your thing, and we'll start registering you. If you do want to come, please bring your cell phone. Please bring it charged. While we will hopefully maybe have some ways that you can register if you don't have a cell phone, some sort of device to be able to go ahead and register is going to speed you up in terms of getting inside the clinic.
Right.
Because we already know your medical history. We already know things, so we can already go ahead and pull you in, get you through triage. So from there, you'll either decide that you want a dental service or you'll want an eye service, but everybody gets medical service. So you kind of get one or the other on eye or dental. The dental floor is usually one of the highlights. It's going to be up in the gym. They will do all sorts. They'll do cleanings, they'll do extractions, and they'll do fillings. They will really do as much as they can while they have you there. And then for eye exam, we actually have a glasses truck that will make your prescription glasses, put them in a frame, and give them to you for free.
Oh, wow.
So
on site?
Yeah, on site. So it's something that we'll go ahead and give those to you. A lot of times we try to put you in, if you want an eye exam, we'll put you through eyes, get your glasses started, we'll put you in medical, you'll get checked out, then you'll come out, we'll give you your glasses, and you're good to go. Typically, somebody was going to spend about 2 to 3 hours at this clinic. And then medical, we will have women's health services. We already have a few OBGYNs signed up, which have been very gracious. There's some of RAM's rock solid people that come to a ton of clinics, so I'm super excited to have them.
Well, that was going to be one of my next questions is from a medical standpoint, does RAM need local medical volunteers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know I've been talking to quite a few people trying to see and engage interests. Right now, our biggest need, because I unfortunately cannot help myself but shoot for the moon, we are shooting for RAM's biggest clinic, which is a 40-chair clinic. This involves 30 dentists, and I know I've been talking to the local Tennessee Dentist Association with Dr. Garrett Orr, so we've been doing pretty good on there, and then fortunately it seems like Lincoln Memorial University up in Knoxville's, that dental school is hopefully also going to send some volunteers.
Right.
Again, going back to the whole, hopefully some of these students will get a perspective of a student, not just your people who've already arrived, already got their licensure, but then some of our biggest needs are going to be nurses and optometrists.
Okay.
Those are probably our two biggest needs right now. We really like to stock up the nurses because they do our triage, so they do a lot of our entry care, getting you ready, making sure like, oh, if you're going to the dental floor, we can do this kind of stuff to you. If you're going to the medical side, this is the
Right.
kind of stuff we need to do for you. So those are kind of the biggest things, and it's also it's fair to say for anyone who is wanting to volunteer, we will feed you. We understand that it's a long day, but we will feed you, and you do not have to volunteer both days. You
Oh,
can
okay.
volunteer one or the other. I know a lot of people, even myself, I'm still going to be at the clinic, but Sundays, a lot of days, people go to church, and they want to go to church. So that's something that we're perfectly fine with. But we definitely do need medical professionals. We will take anybody and everyone who is either a dentist, an optometrist, a general medical professional in terms of if you can do a general medicine physician, that kind of stuff, give out physicals.
Right.
If you can do that, or if you're a nurse, we need all of that. And it's, we can fill roles with Lincoln Memorial students or, pull from here or there, but we really do like to keep it local because we want these people, if let's say you're a nurse at the hospital and you come and you help somebody here, if they ever have to go to the hospital, then that's a familiar face for them. We want to
Right.
keep it as local as possible, but also understand that the amount of dentists, for example, is very high. We need 30 dentists overall. That is a lot of dentists for Franklin County.
Yeah, for this
right?
area. Yeah, certainly.
So it's one of those things that you're gonna have to have outside help. You're gonna have to have people who are not necessarily from Franklin County. Maybe we've also been looking at ones in Tacoma, all
Yeah.
the surrounding counties. But you do come with it that there is going to be some outside people, but ultimately we want to maximize the amount of people who are local medical professionals.
So I guess wrapping up the line of questioning, do you guys handle Wookiee care? Because I've got a Wookiee and he probably
Man.
needs some medical care. My concern is that when we stick him in a dental chair, he's going to need at least 3 bodies around him. One to hold him down,
Okay.
one to wipe his tears, and one to actually do the work.
So that would be some cutting edge medical care, I
Yeah.
will say. But me personally, not as a medical professional, would love to see it. From a non-medical professional standpoint, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think it would be a hoot and a holler to witness.
Yeah. He suffers from Wookiee alopecia, as we discussed earlier today. That's kind of why he's the black sheep of the family.
So no xenobiologists are going to be there, probably. Yeah,
No.
Probably not.
Yeah, okay.
Probably not. But,
zoologist.
Yeah.
I'll check on that.
Yeah,
For you,
I
though.
appreciate you,
right.
Fran.
I'll check around and see what I can find out.
It'll be pretty interesting to try and pull out some of those canines. All right. Well, I really appreciate it. Again, Cason Orr coming in this morning and joining us here on the show. It is the Remote Area Medical Clinic coming up on June 6th and 7th. Again, free health care. The idea is to help those who are uninsured, underinsured, folks who have low income to no income. All of that. It's a nonprofit type of scenario, and they're going to be there on the 6th from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on the 7th from 6 a.m. to noon. And again, Cason, one of Franklin County's own, coming back to the community. I really appreciate the work that you're doing, not only for the community, but it just in general. For humanity. I mean, so for people who may not know, and we're about to hit the break here, but you're up there at the state level. Your goal is to get into politics and kind of, we talked about the stigma in the break a little bit that surround politics, but it doesn't have to necessarily be that way. You were part of the Young Republican Club. You're one of our very own. And I know that you've got the right mindset going into this whole thing. But from your standpoint, and just talking about yourself, what drives you, and why is this something that is on your heart to get into?
Yeah. So, strangely enough, because I know a lot of people think of politics as a godless profession, it does go back to my faith. I think my faith calls me first to love people, and then secondly to leave things better than I found it. This community poured into me so much and is such a great community, but that is not saying that there are not things that could be helped.
Yeah.
I saw good and bad, the education system, for example. Everything good has happened for the past 20 years and everything bad that has happened both at the state and local level. I'm a result of that. So to me, it's inspired by both of these things that I want to leave this area better than I found it. My dad always jokes with me when I'm heading off to school or work or whatever. He always pats me on the back and says, well, you better get on the road because you got a world to save. Because I'm always speaking about it so hopefully and so, forward-looking in progress and such. And I don't look at it. I look at it because I can't save the world. There's only one man who did save the world, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. But it is fair to say that I can save my world. I can save my world and make my area better than I found it.
Right.
Ultimately, I think going about what we were talking about earlier about service, if more and more people had that mentality, got away from the stigma and said, I just want to serve my community and make it better.
Right.
And I'm focused on Franklin County.
Right.
I'm not focused on Nashville or Washington or, wherever. I'm focused on where I'm from. I'm going to go back to where I'm from. I'm going to help them. I'm going to do everything I can to pour in like people poured into me.
Yeah. Understanding the needs of the community that you came from and attacking those problems, those challenges. Well, that's tremendous, brother. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your family. Tell your brother I said hey. And thank you. Thank you for serving Franklin County and bringing this event to us. Again, June 6th and 7th is the date of the event. We'll have more information for you, and we'll probably have Cason back in here as we draw closer to the event as well. We'll hit hour number 2 when we come back. Thank you very much, Cason.
Yeah.
This is ESPN Radio 1340, 106.9 WCDT Winchester.